Huh? Huh? What's this? Metal.
Westweird presents the long and short of it.
Hello and welcome to the long and short of it.
Hello, good afternoon.
We've had a bit of a hiatus in the recording of these episodes, so it's good to be back.
I feel like I've aged since the last episode. Now 49. What the hell is happening? Hey, look, we are back in Warsaw. We are back in Cat, and as I say, it is a beautiful Warsaw today. Well, I'll say that it's always beautiful in Warsaw, but we've actually got some weather today. Lucy Verasami are very kindly giving us some sunshine.
Yeah.
So it's absolutely gorgeous out there today. So welcome back to Cat, Sean. Nice to see you again.
Yes, and it's good to be back.
And
Lovely
hello to
cats.
our producer Sammy as well. Hello. And this time we're sitting round the side of the bar with us.
We're liking to spice this episode up with a few changes, so alright, let's get into it.
Yes, the long and short of it is starting with non-alcohol today. I'm not saying that me and Sean and Sammy were out getting actively drunk in Litchfield last night, but me, Sean and Sammy might have been out in Litchfield getting very drunk last night, so
Yes.
yes.
We were scouting for new material, that's what we were doing.
I really fancy. So good.
Okay, let's start with our icebreaker. A nice easy one just to get us back into the motion. Evo,
Hello.
what's your favourite crisps?
Oh, yes. Well, the watering truck down the road is now doing what they call the bottomless crisp brunch.
Yes, I've seen it.
Yeah, so for £10 you can sit there and eat crisps for an hour. Now, as much as I can eat crisps, I can shove them down me. A few weeks ago there was a rather disturbing incident where I got having it 4 potatoes chips in one go. But I don't think I could eat crisps for a whole hour. But yeah, my favourite crisp, you've got to be looking at your Walker's prawn cocktail.
Okay.
Your beef space raiders. Gotta be worth a mention. Prawn cocktail discos. Yeah. What's a bunch of it? Beef what's a bunch? And tomato snaps.
So your favourite is kind of just
Like
crisps.
yeah. Bring the crisps and they will be my favourite. Whatever crisp you lavish on me, I will demolish. There are no crisps I turn away. No, I mean there is a bit of like, I am aware that there is crisp racism out there. Some people feel that salt and vinegar should not be in green bags and the other one should not be in blue and white bags, because Walkers and Smith don't they swap around there.
I do.
But one of them being green and it always causes confusion and general hatred of those subjects. So yes guys, if you think you're the crisp, don't really call that into it. As much as it confuses you. Just check the writing. All crisp bags have writing on them to tell you what the flavour is. Don't go by colour.
Maybe just read what flavour it is.
Don't judge a crisp by its colour or something like that.
So I would like to just give a shout out to a phenomenal crisp that has made its comeback tour, thanks to our good old king. The Coronation series of Walkers has brought back the lamb and mint sauce crisp,
Oh, okay.
and man, I say it's bloody lovely. Would I say it's my favourite? Probably not, but I'm a sucker for the sensations. I am the sweet chili sensation and the chicken and thyme.
I don't think I've had the lamb and mint crisp before, so I do need to investigate this whilst they are
Absolutely.
all the rage at the moment. I must say, they're also a very good answer on the pointless crisp thing. So bear that in mind.
Yes, along with sour cream and chive.
I mean, Pringles, class as crisp.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Barbecue Pringle, I mean.
Yes.
You know, I know they say once you pop, you can't stop, but my God, I'll take some stopping when I've got that bad boy tube open. You know, it's like, they're very morbid. And even that bit where you can't get your hand in, you've got to do that awkward thing where you try and tip them
The
out.
semi-shuffle.
And then you get like a whole of them and they go everywhere. Oh well, I've got to eat them now, you know what I mean? But they cannot go back in the tube, yeah, you know what I mean? They are not going back where they came. So yeah, get the Pringle back, you know. I mean, to be fair, I mean, the Pringle tube was big enough for you to get your hand in. How big would the Pringle have to be to make it, you know, stop them rattling around inside, you know, king-sized Pringles? Oh.
Yeah, the dangerous part is when you try and do a check and you kind of lift it up and then the shrapnel pieces from the bottom hit you in the eyeball. Yeah, I mean, be careful out there, folks.
Yeah.
Right, what we're drinking today? I forgot that's what we do on this venture.
We're doing enamoured with our, because we always say that Coke tastes better in a glass bottle.
Yes.
This is very, very proven. Cats don't just do good ale, they do good Coca-Cola.
Other cola-based soft drinks are available, but they're shit.
Yeah, apart from lemon tango and lemon Fanta and apple tango.
Right, today's first outing in the alcohol world is by Pulp, and it is a strawberry daiquiri cider.
And we can enjoy port because we are common people.
Absolutely. I think, nice sunny day, something like this is definitely what I would be going for.
So this is a cider dish also?
It is, yeah.
Okay. Cider for port.
Oh, it's flat. Was not expecting it.
Yeah, a lot of your generic ciders nowadays are kind of flat. They're not like the your woodpeckers that come out with a load of gas in them.
Yeah.
You do get.
No, it's quite nice. It actually tastes as if it's a strawberry daiquiri that's just melted, because it's got that kind of syrupy taste, doesn't it? But yeah, you can tell we've had a bit of time off. Describing the drinks on a drinks channel.
God, that's not happened for a while, has it?
We'll have none of that.
You will notice I was still quite reserved with my disclosure of the things, so I'm keeping my side of the bargain.
Right, we've got another quick fire question because it just popped into my head. This one's a fashion question.
Well, when you think of fashion, obviously I'm the first name that comes to most people's heads, aren't you?
I mean, I'm looking a bit like a house designer at the moment.
I'm wearing my to the regiment. I wish I was there. Early doors t-shirt.
Excellent.
I know a good t-shirt when I see it.
So the question of the day is double denim.
Double denim.
Is it okay to do?
I see no problem with it. In fact, at the brewery last night that we were at for the party, one of the first videos on the music channel was Shaking Stevens rocking his double denim. And if it's good enough for Shaking Stevens, then it's good enough for me.
Absolutely.
I've always wanted. I'm a massive fan of Shaking Stevens when I was a kid. And he always, white is my favourite colour. And he always had these white shoes on. And to this day, I still want a pair of Shaking Stevens white shoes.
Somebody said the other day, because he's just dropped a new album, and somebody said, bloody hell, Shakin' Stevens he's put a good tune out. And I was thinking to myself, have you actually ever listened to him other than the Christmas song? Because he's always producing phenomenal music.
Yeah.
Last Man Alive from a couple of years ago is an absolute belter.
Oh, no, I read that one short, or I might have to YouTube that one with your hand.
Yeah, it's a good one though.
Green door, oh yeah.
So double denim, does it have to be the same shade, or do you have to mix it up if you're going to pull off the double denim?
Don't know if I can cope with two-tone double denim.
Yeah.
It's got to be the same shape for me.
Yeah, it was that awkward time when you used to see the denim waistcoats. That was the one that caught me off guard a little bit.
Oh no, I've now got Shakin' Stevens green door in my head. Oh, that's going to be my head all day. I see a green door and I want to paint it black. Shaky does shaking as Rolling Stones. That'd be an interesting album, wouldn't it?
Imagine.
Okay. Yeah, so yeah, I'll be doing on the double denim. Not on days like today though, kids, it's a bit awkward today.
It is indeed. I stupidly came out wearing all black and I'm roasting.
Yeah, black is the worst, because you can wear in the suit, to be fair.
This is why strawberry daiquiri cider is going down very quickly. I've got to say, it's not my favourite cider I've ever had, but it's doing the job.
It's cider.
I also am a massive fan of these half-pint glasses. These are new ones to what we normally have, aren't
Yeah, genius. Yeah. We don't normally have half point glasses with lots of white in them, so all good with it.
Slow news day today, folks. We're talking about the glassware, but to be honest, if they make them, why not discuss them? I quite like this one. It's got all the logos on from all the breweries. Anyway.
Yes, that ends today's episode of The Last Shot. Join us next week when we're discussing Banks's 3/4 pint glasses that they bought out for limited period in the late 90s.
If you have any interesting glassware, please send us some samples. We'd like to try them out.
Or any glass related anecdote, and we will share the best of it.
Well, talking of glassware, that cider was smashing.
Nice to sure.
Right, what part of the world are we going to next? I think we're going to be sampling some local AJ's Brewery. Here it is, entering frame. What was it called? It was called Beatrice.
Named after the Warsaw Camera logo.
There you go.
Our hippo logo is called Beatrice. Hence the name of AJ, which was brewed for the Warsaw Camera Beer Festival for the first time in 2017. And they've kept it on as a regular staple of their range of things.
There you go. I'm about to retire. The knowledge master is here.
And me and Sean are going to AJ's next week because they have an open day every last Saturday of the month, and Sean will be making his maiden visit to AJ's next Saturday.
Absolutely.
I haven't been for a few months, so we're looking forward to it. So next Sunday's episode may see us slightly hungover like today's episode.
Yes.
So yeah, be prepared for that.
And also, I'm just kind of hoping that it was slightly better than our visit last night. Some disappointing outing last night.
We won't get no Shaking Stevens at the Haydens now. I'll warn you now. We will have to bring our own double denim to that party.
I'd also like to point out that obviously this is a you had to be there story, but one of our mates points up to the set TV that was had Shakin' Stevens on, while it had Joan and the Jets on, and then pointed to one of our friends and went, "Look at that, it's you." To a person that looks absolutely nothing like Joan the Jet, didn't have the same hairstyle, hair colour, wasn't wearing the same clothes, so I didn't quite get where the connection was there. But anyway, so shout out to Maidles, you odd fellow.
It was not odd, but drinking odd as well, which is even more entertaining. And I was like his personal walking stick all evening. I supported his weight for the whole night.
We don't just support local pubs, we support our friends.
Literally.
Alright, let's get on to Beatrice.
Yay. Oh, are we going for a live pour again?
We're going for a live pour, and let me tell you, the cider one, it didn't go well.
Yes, I noticed that. I came back from the toilet to find a swimming pool or something.
I'll tell you what,
No, that was textbook, that was fun, that was textbook.
I think we've done it. I think we've mastered it.
Yeah.
There's a little sample for the PA. Always keep your PA hydrated.
Absolutely.
Especially in hot summer days.
Yes. And do not keep your PAs in a car with the windows at all. But that way.
The only thing we have left to do is to feed our PA,
Yes.
but not after midnight.
It's always midnight somewhere in the world. It's always after midnight somewhere.
Okay, let's switch it up. We've covered some bases here. Let's give this a little sample.
Enjoy Beatrice.
Cheers. We'll see you next week. We won't. We'll see you next weekend. Oh, that's good.
I feel like I'm kind of cheating it because, you know, Sean's first taste of Beatrice, whereas I've had it many times. So, but it's good. It's always good. And it's 4.3% golden, light, pleasant, refreshing.
Better slow down, mate.
Perfect for some afternoon in Warsaw.
We're throwing out too much information there.
Yeah.
Percentages and descriptions.
Yeah, let's get back to other beers next, so I'll shut the fuck up and don't say a word about it.
Right. What is the best era of music?
80s.
Good. Question done.
Yeah,
Right.
next. If Dan's going for gold, I'd have got 5 points for that. Holiday, what is the best music era? Yeah, the bloke from Belarus has been like, what you want to do? Oh, he's going for gold, mate. Anyway, we've diverted massively. Yeah, so going back to your 80s, you're Shakin' Stevens, and you know, it's just like, if you think the 90s were pretty much Britpop, indie, you know, your age of your Spice Girls, whereas like the 80s saw such an evolution of music from like, starting off like with the kind of ska sounds of the early 80s, the Motown that carried on from the 70s into the 80s, and then you had like the progression through the kind of the cheesiness of the Wham era, and towards the end where you had like the Stock Aitken and Waterman rise, and the kind of, you know, the last couple of years saw, like, you know, like your SX dresses and your Technotronics that kind of led to the 90s dance era, really. So the 80s have got so many different kind of categories, you know, like the 60s, and I don't say the 60s music was all same, but, you know, there weren't many different genres flying about, was there? Whereas the 80s was probably the first decade for
Diversity.
the mass, you know, difference of sounds, really. Just great, really. I mean, I've forever got the absolute 80s on its own, and it's kind of like, you know, I was 10 in 1984, so my first kind of music was around the kind of 84 era, and, you know, probably one of my first. I mean, there were songs from before the 80s that I'd already grown to know and love, like Roxy Music, Dance Away, and Working My Way Back to You by Detroit Spinners. But it's like, when I first actually got to discover music that was coming out there and then, you know, I mean, one of the first songs that I remember getting into that was new was Freedom by Wham. I used to belt that out in the living room and dance around and sing my head off to it, and, you know, look now, you know, no, pretty no surprise I turned out to camp and badges that I am nowadays, and I was dancing around to I don't want your freedom, you know, when I was 10 years old, you know what I mean? You know, so it's no real surprise that, you know, it wasn't all about Shakin' Stevens and his white shoes and his green doors, it was a bit of camp run as well. You know. So, yeah, but like every other decade brings something to the party, you know, like the 90s with the cool Britannia, you know, you've got to love the Spice Girls. And then the noughties where, you know, I mean, indie music is my main passion, indie music, and the noughties is probably where that hit its peak, really.
Yeah.
With, you know, like Razorlight, Kaiser Chiefs, all those sort of Arctic Monkeys, all come to prominence. So it was down to like, probably decade that was best suited for my musical taste, I probably would say the noughties. But then obviously with your yin of the indie music, you've also got your yang of ex-idol Christmas number ones every year. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
Simon Cowell deciding 6 months in advance who's going to be Christmas number one. So it's not always good, you know. There's no,
the carbon copy cut and press. Here's your next
who's the next Christmas
hit
number
song.
one. Oh,
Yeah.
good. Thank you. You know, I mean, it's actually spoiled the whole Christmas number one thing. You know, because I mean, in America, they don't get the whole Christmas number one thing. Where over here, it's such a massive thing. And in this decade, so this century, you know, the 20s, the 2000s, the only two big Christmas number one battles would have been the Darkness and the Tears for Fears, Mad World battle, and the Rage Against the Machine against, was it Joe McKelvey? Yeah, Rage Against the Machine versus the Ex-Idol winner. Those are probably the only two big Christmas number one battles that have been this century, really. And it's just a shame. And now, obviously, it's Lad Bible or Lad Baby.
Yeah.
They just get it every year. You know.
I think this is the new low, to be honest, because this lad baby thing. I mean, again, you can say it's for charity and all that, and fair enough. You know, it probably is. But again, yeah, it bastardises the whole point of it, doesn't it? It used to be a race, a slow climb for everybody to, okay, if you bought, say, 10 more albums when it was physical albums, you gave them that chance of, you know, watching the charts up to it on that running week and the numbers. It was quite an exciting time, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a good back in the day. Like, you know, even the DJ wouldn't know who was the Christmas number one until about 3 songs before, and then is the top 5. You know what I mean? You know, go back to the 90s. You know, the Spice Girls got 3 Christmas number ones, and that was massive. It was absolutely unheard of. Did the Beatles do it, or they the only other people that have done it? But I know the Spice Girls getting 3 number one was just a huge achievement, and now Lad Baby's done it, and we're just lazy crap cover versions.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just don't get the whole. I know for charity, but
Yeah. No, I'm the same. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I have an issue with like lazy parodies anyway. Like when they're done right, you can tell why certain parody icons are icons, like your Weird Al's and your
yeah, he ate it. It's a legendary.
you got what's his name, Bob Burnham. He writes like comedy stuff, but it's smart and it plays to at least some connection to the original. But literally just swapping words out with the word sausage rolls and other Greg's related pastries. No, it doesn't do it for me. No. But yeah, that was a much deeper look into the eras than I expected. I'm also going to go for the 80s. Mainly for the reason that most of the bands that I listen to today were built from the 80s, and you can see their progression, and it was pretty cool. Like I was born at the tail end of the 80s, so my first introduction to music was some terrible trancey items that would come out because my sister and my brother would just play their music. So when I first got to really discover my own identity with music, the first album I ever bought physical was Brave New World by Iron Maiden. And after finding that, I went and done their 80s catalogue, and it blew me away. I was like, if this is what they were doing back then, where are they going to go? And I mean, they're still going today. One of the longest running rock bands, really. But yeah, the 80s, when I started to do the back catalogues, the music is so diverse, like you say, and there's something for everybody in the 80s, isn't there? Like, if you go back to the 50s, if you weren't into like your rock and roll or your slow, like, dancey bits, that was pretty much it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You had the psychedelics obviously moving forward and more of like the hippie era music, which is our PA's go-to. Love some hippie dippy power ballads. Wearing some very hippish trousers today. That's a shout out for the day. And then you obviously got to your digital music. Started off great. It's now again very lazy. You get DJs now being like mainstream headliners of things, and it's like, I don't understand it. Call me old fashioned. I'm a band type of guy, I'm a live type of guy. I like the guitars, I like the drums, I like when a band comes together and.
We like effort, I think.
Yeah.
No, I think people should put some effort into their songs and.
Yeah, so I will ride the 80s train with you. Like you say, it's not the only train. We do appreciate music as a whole, but definitely a highlight. And also, it was a decade that birthed an absolute legend. His name's Sean Westwood. You might know.
We do them.
Cheers. That
note
was very good.
Beatrice must have left the building.
Beatrice,
Which I did.
to you. Right, you can tell the hiatus has hit our production value because we don't know what's coming next. It's a mystery. So usually where we'd give it a bit of hype and then leave you on
a... music reference there, Sean, I like that. Sure you will be very impressed.
So what we're going to do is, whereas we'd normally have a small break to go and fetch that, we'll take a small break to go downstairs and see what we can try. So we'll see you shortly.
We'll be right back after this word.
Don't stop it. Get to the pause. Sorry. Hello, welcome back. Right, we have caught with our selection, and the next drink that we should be having is by Burning Soul, and it is called Mountain Splitter. It is set at a 4.5%.
Reasonable.
It smells fruity. Let's give it a go. Yeah, it's alright that.
It's okay, yeah.
Yeah,
You know, I'm not going to be a Wikipedia this time. You know, there's no description for me. Sean said it's all the 4.5 and
Location, place, yeah, sorted.
Don't go over effort putting it.
The coronation ales were on the board, but unfortunately they have been they're sold out. So yeah, this was freshly on the board. Burning Soul, never heard of them.
Burlington.
But yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, nice.
Let's accompany this with an odd question. So, imagine this. Crayola, the crayon company, has approached you and said, Evo, I've seen you on the long and short of it, you were excellent. We would like to we'd like to make a crayon.
I'd like to think that's what they do, but you know.
We'd like to make a crayon based on you. What colour would it be, and what would you call it?
Well, if it's mirroring my personality and my heart, it would have to be dark and black. You know. And what would I call it? Oh God. Don't know. Well, it's going to be dark. It's going to be the thunder.
Oh,
Everyone's thunder, I think. Black, dark, dingy, and unpleasant. It's like that. Yeah, I'd like that. But they need to make this happen. If they can make it darker than black, then yes, go for it.
and it needs to be like instead of being one of those rounded off crayons that they normally make, it needs to be a sharper one.
Yeah.
So when they try and colour in, it tears the paper.
Yeah. And it's a thoroughly miserable experience for everybody, like being in my company. Yes.
Well, I feel like I would like to upset the apple cart with most things that I try and do. So I would go with the colour of this porcelain skin that I have. I'd go for the palest white crayon that you could get, and I'd call it "You Pale Little Bastard."
No, it's not often that you know when we talk about the colour there. I would go for black and you would go for white. I mean that's never happened before, or will happen again. You know what I mean? You know. So I think it's a complete swap around of our favourite colours there.
Right, this next question I've been looking forward to because it's a question that was just mentioned in a pub a couple of weeks ago, and I think we discussed it as well. We being the PA and I, about films, but more specifically, if you were to have a biopic made about you, who would you want to play you?
Oh, Sean and stuff.
Wow, what a choice!
I've already thought this. I think he would master my mischievous grin somewhat. And he's just such a cool, kind of decent guy, you know. I don't think he'd portray me quite well, really, you know. Obviously, a much better looking version of me, obviously, so some of the love scenes won't be very realistic, you know, because he'll get them and I generally don't. Yeah, obviously more realistically, you know, Matt Lucas would probably be the one that would play me if we're going by looks alone or Phil Mitchell. No, I'd quite like Sean himself because he's an epic geezer.
Awesome.
How about you, Sean?
Well, again, an unrealistic one for myself would have to be Chris Evans. I mean, he's just phenomenal, isn't he? I'm talking about not the Top Gear Chris Evans. I'm not talking about Radio 1.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realise.
I was talking about Mr. Captain America himself, Chris Evans.
Oh, the Chris Evans are available, and I did not know this.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal actor.
Well, when you said he's phenomenal, I was just thinking like, yeah, when he did Don't Forget Your Toothbrush, I get that. And, you know, he's good on Radio 1, but I was just thinking like, you know, is he really that phenomenal? I didn't realise you were about somebody else, you know. So apologies to the other Chris Evans. I am not aware of you, but I will go on Wikipedia when I get home and, you know, get me some knowledge. Sean, please carry on. I'll cut across you there quite rudely. Don't Forget Your Toothbrush malarkey.
But again, there's got to be a sense of realism there, and I could see them casting somebody like. Again, you might not know him because he's quite new, but a guy called Adam Driver. He was the villain in the new Star Wars films, Star Wars trilogy, and I think him because. I think we have a similar face structure, but Adam Driver, if you are watching this, I apologise. Please move to the time frame set on the screen at the moment. Is he gone? Good. I don't like Adam Driver. I think he's a terrible actor, so I wouldn't want him to play me. Although What can you do? What can you do?
Go back to Chris Evans. Has your Chris Evans ever been able to finish it? Did you do that?
That's a good call. No.
We need
No.
to find this out. If not, then we can make it happen.
Yeah.
Today's it's every day's a school day. I feel now. I'm doing this thing at the moment where I'm trying to watch 23 films at the cinema. So 24 films at the cinema in 23. It's called 23 and 24. I'm currently on 2, so I've got a lot of work to do. So I feel I need to do a Chris Evans film very soon. I don't want to see Elizabeth Banks film as well, because as the film knows, I'm very keen on Elizabeth Banks.
Yeah. She's taken to the directorial duties as of late, hasn't she? She put out the brilliantly named Cocaine Bear, which I still can't believe is an Elizabeth Banks film.
Oh, it's a one film. That is one of the 2 films that I've seen. It's brilliant. Yeah, the ambulance scene has made me forever.
Where do we go next? The whatever it's called, the mountain splitter, that seemed to have rocketed down. So we do have here a feature that I don't believe we've used for quite a while. We have a What's the Crack here at the Cats, and if you just look behind us here, you will see this phenomenal fridge here. You might be thinking to yourself, I can't see any lights in that fridge. Is it on? And the answer would be no. So what we have in front of us here is a lukewarm can of Ripple.
We've chosen to have a can as a switched off fridge on the hottest day so far of the year. Don't try this at home, because had we switched the fridge on, by the time we'd unlocked it, because I had 3 attempts at it and failed, Sean had 3 or 4 attempts at it and finally did it. Had it been a Crystal Maze game, we'd have both been locked in. But it would have given at least time to get a little bit cold while we struggled to open the bloody door.
And also, I wouldn't mind being locked in a Crystal Maze just to hear that lovely harmonica solo.
Oh man, we should have Brian complaining, couldn't we?
He's a national treasure.
It is, yeah. However, so this can is from a backyard brewery, which, if you're not aware, kind of still exists. Don't exist because they got taken over. So this is quite a historic thing here.
Yeah.
This backyard beer is apparently not as it was pre-takeover. So it's going to be interesting.
Let's just read some of these suggestions. They suggest
It's served cold water.
suggest that you eat this. No, you drink this with a pizza, salad, or cheese.
Supposing I don't have any loads of hand, Sean, what should we do?
Drink it on its own.
Right, okay.
Maybe we could drink it with some dessert, some double chocolate dessert. We won't go into that one. That might be a spoiler. I'm not sure how much we're going to cover today. So.
Yeah, if we don't come today, I'm sure we can have it in a couple of weeks when we're back here for the next patch recording.
Right, what's the crack? Now, we've had some great victories with what's the crack, and we've had some dismal attempts. So hopefully we get a good one today. I've got to remove this hair.
It's not one of mine, so...
This is the gift that keeps on giving. This is... Okay, what is the crack? Ooh!
Okay.
Yeah, did it? A live pour from a can seems a lot more achievable. So we saw Ripple and immediately went to, could this be Raspberry Ripple? In which case I got very excited. But unfortunately nowhere on here does it say anything to do with raspberry. It does say tropical fruit and citrus, and for some reason, biscuits. Now, don't get me wrong.
Are they malted milk or what?
Tropical fruit biscuits sounds pretty damn good. You know what? Let's go in. We do have a follow-up question, so let's give the Ripple a day in court.
Does it mean I have to put my jury service hat on again? I'll put my clown to travel expenses on. It's not warm, and I thought it was going to be good.
Yeah. It's very chocolatey. Haven't quite got to the biscuits yet, have you?
No biscuits are forthcoming at the moment.
But I can see why it'd be good with a pizza.
So it says pizza or cheese, so you could kill two birds with one bird by having pizza.
Yeah.
So, go son, more pizza.
Right.
Oh, is that the first film photo of the day?
Yes, I believe so. The next question is actually a follow-up question to the one we just had.
I've forgotten already. Oh yeah.
It's about the film.
Yeah.
So this is a two-parter. It's now that we've cast the film. Very gassy. What key moments of your life would you like to have covered in the film? And also, what are we going to call it? I didn't put that down, but that's a great question, Sean. Thank you very much.
Well, that one's going to be cool, but the tagline for me would be, there's only one letter difference between lover and loser, and he knows which it is. But I don't know what it's called, going to be called.
I'm butly laughing.
And I don't want to emphasise the loser thing, but I've not really got that many key moments in my life that I think would suffice the 8 screens at the Light Cinema. You know what I mean?
I've got it. It's just come to me. If Sean William Scott is playing it could literally be a play on words of one of his other films, and it could be called Evolution.
But yeah, key moments of my life would probably be you know, like when I met my Mrs. and she said I could walk her home, and I went for a piss, and by the time I come back from the piss, she'd gone. And I had to run after her down the street, and she ran, and I ran, and then I was at the next junction. That looked quite good on screen. You know, I think Sean William Scott would probably run quicker than I could. There's the alternate time when the last before that, when I took her back to mine, and she went, it was her turn to the toilet, and while she was having a poo, I flew up on the bed. You know, so that, you know, she came back, you know, with a load off her mind, and there was me in my white pants cleaning the toilet, sick with a towel. You know, nice. Yeah, that part of the film might have to have a 15 certificate. You know, yeah, this is a 12A film, but with a 15-minute spell, which is 15, you know, parental guidance and look away, you know, optional but recommended. Obviously, you know, there's a bit where I upsell down the art gallery, the charity, obviously don't like talking about it, you know, but I was smashing nicely. Didn't that look good on the on the small screen? That's about it for achievements for me, I think. Yeah. I came down the art gallery, thrown up on my bed and running after a woman and losing it a not very well populated junction.
Notting Hill This is not.
So Sean, you're keen.
Well, I just thought I could be bragging at this point.
Yeah, so to go and sit in the corner of the sun while you read out all your achievements.
Well, the day I became a millionaire.
Obviously, we've got the moment where, you know, this would be in both films, where you turn up for your first day of cycling and it's me that's welcoming you on the tray counter. You know, that's a nice crossover between both films.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'd quite like to watch that. Because Rollo remembers it like it was yesterday, because you and Rollo started on the same day, didn't you?
Yeah.
You know, and, yeah. Oh, who played Rollo, do you reckon? Peter Kay.
I reckon that guy from Full Monty. I can't think of his name. I can't think of anything else he's been in. So yeah, let's go for Peter Kay.
Oh, I like Rollo, the top man.
Yeah, I'm in. Yeah, if they would really need to work on their Manx swagger, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
If they were playing Rollo.
Yeah. So, Sean, what's your achievements?
I don't know. Probably playing the Civic Hall. That was a good one.
Oh, okay.
I'd get that in. I'd obviously amp up the drama. I'd have Chris Evans fall off the stage, because that was all that was going through my mind while being on it. Because us being a small time band on a 4-band card, we started the show, and every other band after us wanted their own kit and gear on. So a stage that should have been our dream stage to be on turned into something no wider than this walkway behind us. So yeah, I would probably amp up that, and all I was doing was.
Oh, Sean, I don't need to drown out your gig with sneezing. I'm not jealous of it at all. No, so if I keep sneezing, I won't hear a word. La 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 la, sneeze, 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 la la. Come on, Sean. Sneeze, sneeze, la la. Come on.
But yeah, I was just there. I was terrified of fucking falling off this thing. I was, because I looked down and it was just darkness.
Random
Strange.
like that, random like the darkness.
Strange place for them to be, but yeah. Love is only a feeling. And yeah, so I don't know if I fully enjoyed the situation, because I was shitting my pants. Trying to fit 6 people in a walkway no wider than this behind us. It's not fun, and also when you have massive speakers, monitors at the front, you're then terrified of falling over those. So yeah, I think in the film, Chris Evans, who is definitely playing this, would have to have a bit of a dream sequence where he did fall off, just to add to the drama and spectacle of it all. And then, of course, it would end with a little fly that's trying to get in my drink. I don't mind, but I'd rather it not.
He wants to buy the biscuits before we do.
And of course, it would end with a meet-up of the duo of the century, when a long and shot of it would air, and the first episode containing Shawn Williams, Scott and Chris Evans, when they sit down and say those immortal words. Welcome to the long and shot of it. Credits roll.
Live from the tunnels. Yeah.
And mine would probably be called something something Chris Evans is awesome, or something like that.
Billy Piper says Chris Evans is not awesome, but his divorce power outside.
I just heard, I swear I'm losing my mind, I swear I just saw and heard somebody on that balcony and there's nobody there. That was not ideal. Right, I say we we wrap this up. We need our shot, which we have discussed. Typical. And we have, I believe, one more question. We do not have one more question. So the last question of the episode will be, what shot are we having ever?
Yeah, you got the time to grab the shots to think of a question, or ask somebody in the bar for a question.
Yep.
Ask Jace for a question, because we asked Jace to appear like episodes ago, and he hasn't yet. So does Jace want to give a question?
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, as you know, I don't know the questions in advance, so this time Sean may not know the question in advance, so this will all be exciting.
Jason has entrusted us with the key to the fridge, but not with his questions.
We shall return.
Thank you very much. Okie dokie, we are back. We've had a look at the shots list, and there's some quite interesting ones that I would like to try over the remaining episodes at the Cats. But for today, we have gone for Orange Jamesons. I love Jamesons. It's one of my favourite whiskies. It's real smooth and it's an amazing drink. So when I saw they had an orange one, I was very excited. And I bought a bottle when it first came out. And wasn't that impressed with it, if I'm being honest. I've sold this really well to you ever. So, cheers.
Well, off camera, before we started, Sean just said it was very, very predominantly orange, so I'm expecting once I've had a sip that somebody painted orange will come and give me a slap like an orange tango.
I mean, just having a smell of it, you can smell that that's very zesty.
Yeah. Oranges! Oh, that might be worth a little replay.
That's very orange, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very
You know,
fragrant.
when you've been tangoed with James.
Yeah, I'll swap the,
It's wet me up anyway.
it's a gift that keeps on giving, isn't it, that one?
Aftertaste as well.
But yeah, looking at the shots list has had me very excited for the remaining visits to the Cats. I think we'll have to knock a couple of those on the head over the coming visits. But that about does it for today. I've had another good one.
Have you not got that last question?
No,
Oh, okay.
sorry to disappoint everyone.
Okay.
Um,
I feel like I'm being let out at class early.
how many oranges have you had in your life?
Oh, not me, mate, I can tell you that, 'cause I don't do fruit. I don't do fruit at all, so, yeah. I'll probably say about one, and not another about 7. It made me retch everywhere. So, you know.
I have to say, if I am doing fruit, pips can get the fuck out of here, man. Like, who wants pips in there? Who wants to be constantly worried about chomping down on something and hitting a hard pip? Nobody wants that. So, if I am.
Those might like the pips. It's
So, the slogan for my fruit would be, get your pips out for the lads. Right. Thanks again for watching, and
Thank you for tuning in. It's been good fun.
yeah, I mean, having a break feels good at the time, but you're always have it playing on in the back of your mind that the return won't be as sharp-witted as what you were when you were on the run. But I felt today was quite a good one.
Yeah, and you know, Shaking Stevens singing Rolling Stone really needs to happen. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
And again, Last Man on Earth, give it a listen. It's a banger.
And to all the Chris Evanses out there, we and Billy Piper salute you.
And best Chris Evans win. Thank you very much, and we'll see you again next week at the Crafty 2.
Tamworth, here we come.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching.